All right, 3 myths that dispel Mercury retrograde. Number 1, Mercury does not actually go backwards in retrograde. Let me explain. All right, so there are planets that go around the sun. We all do it. Mercury is the fastest one that goes around the sun, but we're also going around the sun at the same time, which means when Mercury sort of overlaps us, there's a point that it's our blind side, we can't see it, and it appears to go backwards. What? Let me show you. So let's imagine that you, camera, are Mercury going around the sun, and the sun is here. So Mercury's sort of like going around the sun, and I'm going around the sun at the same time, but Mercury's much faster, and so when Mercury goes around, it goes around really fast, and there's a point, and then we're like, oh, there you are. That's what Mercury retrograde is. It's not going backwards. Number 2, second myth is that if you're born during Mercury in retrograde, which is about, it happens like 4 times a year, and it runs about 3 times in that, so quite a lot of people are, they say that people aren't affected by Mercury retrograde. Well, I'm telling you right now, I feel a little bit sick. So yeah, Mercury does affect people who are retrograde. Retrograde people like myself tend to be a little bit more intuition. We have to really figure out what we're saying. Maybe, but often people who have Mercury retrograde, there's dyslexia, there's some learning disabilities, and what it means is we have to go over stuff really, really careful. And when Mercury retrograde happens and everyone's like, oh my God, Mercury retrograde, that is our life. And finally, the third myth about Mercury retrograde is it's the same every single time. Well, that's not true, because it goes into a different astrological sign, and some of them are air, some of them are water, some of them are earth, and then some of them are fire. If it's in fire, it's very likely you're going to get stuff done anyway. So you're going to have a very active Mercury retrograde and have different solutions. So you might say it doesn't exist. If it's in water, man, you can just go deep, right? And then maybe have some intuition. If it goes in earth, expect things to be grounded. If it goes in the final one, which is air, expect to be like me, very, very, very chatty right now, very, 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 very chatty. And finally, bonus, if you really want to know how Mercury in retrograde is affecting you or it isn't, you've got to figure out where it is in your own blooming chart, because it's going to matter how everything else in your own particular cycle makes a difference. If you want to know more about this, the realities of astrology, just go in, hit link, like, follow, and do that. You never know, Bob might actually be your uncle.